Hi everyone, I am so excited to present this masterclass today for the Lyra Society. I'm Elizabeth Hainen, the founding artistic director, and we're here at St. Patrick's as a partnership with the Philadelphia Youth Orchestra Institute. And so thank you to Maestro Scaglione. And we are so thrilled to have 3 harpists for you to hear today. And we're all in person, which is incredible. It's such a great feeling. And the space here has this warm acoustical sound. You can hear the harp ringing, you can feel its vibrations. So I am so thrilled to be in this room, in this environment today. So I think we're just gonna get started. So I'm gonna just put my mask on, and I'm gonna introduce Eva Anderson. And she is a student of Andrea Cahill's, formerly Chifo, who come on up. And yes, live audience. And she studies with Andrea Chifo Cahill, who is a former student of mine from many years ago, and also her sister, Monica Chifo. And I've always been very close to their family. So I'm thrilled that she's teaching you. And how long have you been studying?
I've been playing since I was in 4th grade.
And what grade are you in now?
I'm in 8th grade now.
Okay, now I have a question for you. This might be a little bit of a loaded question. So when you were working online this year, I assume a lot of your classes were online?
Yes.
And so tell me if it was math, history, or harp you looked forward to the most when you got to have your lessons.
Oh, definitely harp.
I told you, I was a leading question. And I really do believe that has given us such a comfort to be able to have our instruments and to be able to create, right? During this time, yes. This whole time has been, what a godsend. You know, yes. Really. So you are going to play something called Air Nostalgique.
Air Nostalgique, yes.
Air Nostalgique. And I don't know if I know this piece. Can I see your music?
I don't know how to pronounce the composer's name, but...
This is a piece, it's a Tchaikovsky. Patrio, it's French in the end. Patrio. Okay, so yes, you gave me a mouthful to pronounce. So this is, it looks like it's kind of like a neoclassical, like a sort of a classical style piece. So I'm gonna let you get comfortable and you make sure your pedals are set and when you're ready to go, you can start, okay?
Yes.
Very nice harmonics at the end.
Thank you.
Can you play some harmonics there for us so we can just let everybody who's there online hear those harmonics again? Yeah, make your thumb press into the string more. Yeah, and then find the right spot, a little higher. There it is, yeah. The flats are always just a little bit higher than the naturals. So you just kind of have to remember that when you're going for it. But that was very nice. So this is a beautiful piece, and it does have a nostalgic feel to it, like a memory, right, or a souvenir. It sounds old too, but I don't think it was written that long ago. Do you know anything about the piece?
I really don't. All I know is that it is a French piece, but that's all I really know about it.
Well, you're playing it beautifully. You get around the harp very natural, and you read music very well. Did you play piano or anything before you started the harp?
No.
No. What? Any other instrument?
I tried, but it didn't really work out.
Oh, really? Which instrument is that?
I tried the piano and I tried the drums. They did not work out.
Okay. Well, I had instruments too that didn't work out. But thank goodness, because now we all get to play the harp. So I'm looking at the beginning of this piece, and I'm thinking there's just a couple little rhythmic things we need to address. Otherwise, I think we could just maybe work on the general pacing of it and make you feel a little bit more relaxed, you know, get any tension you're holding out of your hands. And I think sometimes even the way we start a piece will give us the right character, right, for the whole piece to come. And so I think this first measure is important with the fermata. And you see these little lines over the G's?
Yes.
Those are called tenuto. And we want to press into those strings just a little bit more, take a little bit more time so that we can sing this melody out a little bit more. So let's start from the beginning here. I thought that beginning was really nice. You set that up really well. So remember to always take time there, because it leaves us anticipating what's going to happen, right? And the composer wrote that way just to set that up for the listener. So I'm thinking right here we need to look at the rhythm here. So you're just not waiting quite long enough to play the eighth notes. So it should be 1, 2, and 3, and. Can you just play your left hand there at the end of that line? Yeah, try that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and. A little bit more smoothly, no rushing. 1 and 2 and 3 and. That's it, okay. So let's play now from here with both hands. So think about these notes on the third beat, 3 and 1, 2. That way it'll give you a reference point. Can you try that? Same place. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and perfect. Okay? It sounds like it should keep flowing. I understand why you played it that way. So just remember to sit on that downbeat for the full value of the quarter note, okay? So, and then I think it happened maybe here too. And because you see it does happen, it's different, right? Here you do have fluid eighth notes right from the beginning, but you've got 2 times in a row where you have to wait for that downbeat, okay? So let's start from the second measure here of the piece. That was great. You were very flexible. You fixed that immediately. So here we go into treble clef in the left hand. So what notes do we have there?
G, D, A, D, G, D.
Now, are you choosing to play that an octave lower, or should you be playing up where it's actually written?
Oh, I never noticed that.
That's where it's written.
Okay. I think my teacher might have told me to play it down here.
Well, because you have 2 measures up high, I think this is correct. You have 2 measures treble and then it dips down. How about playing your left hand starting here, just to refresh? 1, 2, and keep going. That's a B. 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, and then you dip down. Okay. So I think what you might want to do is have your thumb placed here so you can reach for your 4th finger on the C. Can you just try right from here to here? So the B right below middle C, and reach for your 4th finger. Have your 4th finger on the C below. Yes. So that way you'll have your connection. 3 and 1 and 2. Try that. And 1 and 2 and 3 and good. I think that might be the way to finger it, but you can check that with your teacher, okay?
Okay.
So now try the left hand from here, now that we've identified where these notes go. And 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I see what happened. So you're used to going down there and playing the B down low. So it's actually right here, next to middle C. Okay, try it again. And 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. That's perfect. Okay, good. So that's just a detail that you might want to fix. Now, do you see this crescendo diminuendo? I think, and I sort of sang it that way. I think you could play it more like that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. Okay, so start a little softer, then get a little louder, then a little softer. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Now come up to your thumb more. That was a good start. And 2 and 3. That's better. See how you're starting to shape it?
Yes.
Yeah, so you want to think about pressing into the thumb a little bit. 1 and 2. Go for the thumb now. Good. Let me try. See how I diminuendoed on the way down too? Try that again. So that's what creates sort of a mystique. It creates an emotion when we put the composer's musical intent right into the piece. It creates an emotion. So what you want to do, a piece that's called air nostalgique, very important, don't you think, to create something, a memory, something love lost, I don't know what, but I think it should be in the music, okay? So let's try to put that in there, starting here, and we're going to go on with both hands. And you can just start with your left hand there. Good, and yeah, we'll join in the right hand now. once with me. That was, oh, excellent. It was so good. You did it. That was very good. And now we can keep going. Let's go ahead, both hands. Okay, good. So I think you did a nice poco retard too. I think this needs to come up all in volume here. We had a long crescendo over 2 measures. And I'd like to see your thumb higher in your right hand to press out that melody. Mi, re, do, si, la. Mi, re, mi. Can I hear that? Mi, re, do, si, la. Good. Shake your hand out once. Get all the tension out of it. Okay, relax your hand and put it back on the string with the high thumb. That's it. Now, mi, re, sing it out. Yeah. Mi, re, mi, si, la, do, si, la, so, la. So those 2 measures should be at least mezzo forte, I think. Okay, so you see no diminuendos, no crescendos, you're already there. Then there's a diminuendo. Okay? So can we start right here, and we're going to do a nice diminuendo into your beautiful poco retard. And can you start with a low D wire string? That's it. D. Yeah. Okay. Yep. And then La. So D to A. Okay. That's it. Yes. And then a little bit less of that. Okay, can you put your hands together here and remember that D when you get there? You can sing it. Oh, much stronger, much stronger. Mi, re, do, si, la, do, si, la, so, fa, do. Yes, that's it. Just to pull back our tempo a little bit. And then when you get here, it sounds kind of like a sort of a sad music box. And I think this section needs to have a little bit more stateliness. So feel resistance kind of in the notes. So maybe your left hand especially will help. And then careful your rhythm right in here when we get here. I'll sing it with you. Can you try this section? And 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1. Yeah. So you're playing. You actually have enough. You have the right meter, but you're not playing the exact notes in the right places. So see, your right hand plays that chord 3 times, quarter notes. Can you just do that? And 3. Okay, now what can we do to those to make those more interesting? There are 3 of them in a row. What do we do?
Change the dynamics.
Yes, because there's a crescendo all the way through here. So can I hear a soft, medium, getting louder, okay? Good. Now with your left hand, same thing. Left hand, now do you see where that left hand note goes? And 1 and 2. Right? Try this again. Make more of a crescendo. So keep the right hand going. Right hand plays all the quarters. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Yeah. Okay. Try it again. 1 and 2, 3 and don't make it a quarter note, but keep it as eighth note. Play the left hand once from here. 1 and 2, 3, and 1 and 2, 3. 2, 3, and try it again. And 2, and 1 and 2. Good, good. Okay, good. So I think holding back this section a little bit, making sure the left hand is a little more important than the right, okay? Let's try it. Let's start from here now. Okay, so think of 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, getting heavier as we go through the section, okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1. Make something of this. Build, build, build. And you don't go too fast because it has to have the right character. Okay? You want to try it again? Yes. And 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and great, you did it. So 1 and 2, 3 and then really make a beautiful difference. You know, it should be after you have one character, you want to give us a different feeling here, right? So that was all correct. You're very quick. You're making all the changes. So now let's do this dun dun tian da da dun dun. Just a little time on those two notes. Oh, that's way too fast. Dun dun tia da da dun dun. I would say really make sure you come off completely on anything you're not connecting. See those chords? Can I hear the first chord right there where it says forte? In both hands, I hear this chord. Okay, just that chord. Let's play it a few times. We're going to work on lifting it out. Ooh, hear that? Don't be afraid to do that every time you have that chord here. Okay, play it again like that. Yes. And then this chord is just slightly different. It's the F chord. And you're going to play it the same way. Lift it. Yes. So if you commit to that each time, that's going to give us a different feeling here. Okay, can you put that in the grouping right there at the forte? So we're going to go ahead. So lift out each time. around this. I'm watching your hand. I don't know if you're always doing the right fingering or not, but you get around on it. Can I play a little bit of this for you? I think what would be nice is the way you lifted these chords out so beautifully, if you can do that in this section too, okay? So your left hand, once it got going, I was very impressed, but the right hand, so I really want to get a lot of sound. It says con passion, with passion, right? With passion. So when you have the right hand chords, really lift out. I think it needs to have a lot of drama, right? You got to get the old ladies crying there.
Okay.
Okay. And you sort of naturally did something too. You did resist the tempo a little bit. It's called rubato. Rubato. Have you heard that term?
I have not.
It's an Italian term, Italian word, and it means literally robbed time. Okay? So you kind of taking some time from here and putting it there, vice versa. Okay? So this needs some rubato with your passion. Okay? Can you lift out your right hand chords before you add your left hand?
From where?
Right here. Okay. Just the right hand first. Lift them out. Yeah. Good. I think there's a D chord before the G chord, not an F chord. Right? This one? Just make sure it. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, and that's a half note, so you can wait longer on the G chord. Good. Can you try that with the left hand added? Good. That was some good sound. She really comes out when she lifts like that, okay? Let's just check these two. You had the chord is an F chord. It's just the interval changes just a little bit. Can you show that one to me in the right hand? And then the next one. So it's a little different. It's the same F chord, just changes. Yes. That's it. Now go from the first one to the second one. And that's what we need to play there, okay? So can you start from this big moment here, the D chord to the G chord. So match your thumb up in your left hand with the chord when you get there. Think of your left hand thumb, because that's where you're playing, okay? Yeah, you want to match that thumb. You want to try it?
Yes.
Try it from the measure before. Take your time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 2, 3 and whoa, we still had another beat. You want to really take your time. Meno mosso means less motion, okay? So again, like a memory, like you're just trying to remember the feeling, okay? Try this here again. And 2 welcome. So I'm wondering, I know you had something else you were going to play. You were going to play a little bit of Handel Passacaglia?
Yes.
But it's sort of a new piece, right?
Yes.
You want to play just the introduction for me?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that.
It's actually kind of backwards, but this is the only variation we didn't learn.
Oh, is the theme?
Yes.
So what have you been working on?
Variation 1 on.
Okay, I see. Well, then let's hear some of variation 1 and maybe 2, okay? And so, has your teacher ever shown you when you change pedals, you want to cover your strings? There you go. Then you change your pedals there. And it's nice, it's quieter, and you keep the harp steady. For those, most all of us know what this music is, but this is a Passacaglia that was written by George Frederick Handel. And we all have played it as musicians. It's string players, pianists, we all play this piece. So it's a really good piece to work on. And so the bass line, in a Passacaglia, usually you have a bass line that is the thematic material throughout the piece, and you keep referring back to that bass line. So I would like to just look at your right hand for, we lifted those chords out in the last piece and you were making great sound. I'd like you to relax your right hand a little bit more. So when you put your hand up to the strings, yes, that's already a better position. So that you keep, those fingers are just relaxed, okay? So as I put my hand up, I just want them just to kind of be relaxed. And they work with all the other fingers. Okay? Okay, like this. You just see that? A little higher. And then stay relaxed. That's it. A little pressing in more, press in. As you close, you should immediately open. Okay? Get into the strings a little taller, relax, and then you're going to open immediately. A little more sound. Okay, but don't play quicker. So you just want to think about opening. See, I'm right there. Okay. Open. Good. What that does is it not only prepares your hand, but it helps relax your hand. So we're not holding any tension in our hand. It allows you also to think of preparing the notes, and it will help your sound. Okay? So can you try that a little bit with your left hand? Just opening immediately in the right hand. Open to a relaxed hand. Open. Think about sort of cupping your hand a little bit more, and that you want to think about the interval shape, right? And so that these fingers are helping you just find the interval shape. Okay? Try it again. Fingers relaxing in your hand, all right?
Yes.
It'll really help you later on. All the big chords you were playing earlier, those already sounded fantastic. So I think we probably should move on to the next harpist today. Did you have any questions for me, or?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure hearing you.
Thank you.
It's so nice to hear you.
Have.
Okay, so we have Maria. And it's so nice to see you in person.
So good to see you again. This feels really surreal.
I know it really does.
So good. I'm nervous but excited.
Oh no, we just this is our time. This is our time together. You take advantage of it, okay? So Maria is working on the Larghetto second movement of the Dittersdorf Harp Concerto. Such a beautiful piece. Very nice. Okay, so let's go through it. And can you see your music okay?
Yes.
I'll let you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm fine with just
Thank
being
you so
over
much.
here. Thank you, Maria. Wow. Very nice. This is a big piece. Was this your choice to work on the Dittersdorf?
Well, I'm building up to the El Concerto that I heard in ninth grade in Summerfest, and Miss Marianne thought this would be a good step for this year.
It is. It's a great piece for you. And have you worked on the first movement as well?
Yes.
Okay. So I find with the second movement, it's really much. It's better if you can understand the accompaniment. So the orchestra reduction, which could be played on the piano. If you could, I don't know if your brother plays piano, but you can make him learn it.
Miss Marianne suggested that as well.
So, because it's difficult when you're missing part of the piece, right? To remind you, where your part fits in, where their part fits in. So I think that would help you a lot. And I'm sure do you have a recording that you've listened to of this?
Yes.
Okay.
On YouTube.
On YouTube, okay. I think I actually recorded this. I just don't know if you can even get that recording. It was a Lyon and Healy recording.
Oh.
And it was done with string quartet, not with orchestra. But with members of the Philadelphia Orchestra, so it's a good recording. So I don't know, I'll have to fish around to see if
I would love that, yeah.
We can get a hold of one of those. Because that's the other thing. There was this wonderful harpist who arranged a lot of our concertos for harp and string quartet, because it gave us more chamber music, just because we're not always included, especially in the classical period, which this is the classical period. And it's nice to have music from this era. It's, you know, we need to embrace that. So, and stylistically speaking, I would say that there should be a lot of warmth and phrasing, but not so much rubato, as I was talking to Eva about, okay? Because of the classical period, everything is a little bit more neat and tidy, and not really indulgent retards, rallentandos, so that things can fit together in a more uniform, beautiful way, okay? So I think your challenge is the rhythm throughout some of these passages. And you have a lovely expression, and you had a nice full sound in your cadenza. And I think when you see these passages with a lot of black in them, I think you get a little bit uptight, and you need to relax into them. You need to do the opposite as you come into it, because what you're doing is you're rushing through those. It makes it more difficult, right, to grasp those notes. So let's look at the beginning again. And you did have a nice espressivo. We see that word right at the beginning. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. So this is where it gets a little confusing. So when you're counting this, are you thinking of 3 or are you thinking of 6?
3.
1. Okay. Let's try it once in 6, just to see what happens. So try it once with a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we want to do dun 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 6. So try this measure once, because you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll do it with the upbeat right here. 5, 6, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1. Yeah, there you go. It's a little tricky because he does these little syncopated beats right there. Mm-hmm. So it will help at least to get you going here in the beginning to think of it in 6. Okay? Mm-hmm. So let's try it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Good. Can you crescendo more in the left hand? You're doing it in the right hand.
Okay.
So right here in this measure. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. See? You got a little bit more time in there, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so take advantage of that. And think, you want to think a little bit about finding the space around the notes more when you have passage work like this, so that you're not just trying to get to the next black, the next set of black notes. Mm-hmm. And it'll give you a better like confidence in your sound too. Okay?
I definitely felt more relaxed that time.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's look here now at the top of the page with the pickup. 6, 1, 6, 1. So it's a D natural, D, move your D, there you
Okay,
go.
my bad.
And 1 and 2, 5, 6. Okay, so if you think about that, I was kind of quietly over here singing the orchestra part.
That helped.
Okay, so what do you have as a pickup note both times? Is it an 8th note or is it a 16th?
It is a 16th.
Right. So if we go back to thinking of the 4 and 5, 6 and 1, da 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 dum. 4 and 5, 6 and dum, da 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 dum. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6, 1. 4 and 5, 6 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 1 and da 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 and a 3 and a 1, 2, 3.
It started.
Yeah. 8th note. 2, 3. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2 and 4 and 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pedals. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3 and a 4 and a 5 6 and a 1 and a 2, 3, 4 and 6, 1 da 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 and a 60 and a 1. Good. Okay. So metronome work will really help you. This is a good one too because it's a slow tempo. And classical period, we don't have a lot of the rubatos, right? So you can just put that metronome on, okay? And that's going to help throughout the whole thing. I think then we need to probably do a little bit of this too.
Yes.
And again, think of finding the notes, these triplets that you have throughout. Think of the shapes, right? Think of how round you can make the shapes. Ya da 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 ya da 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 da. See, as that word espressivo comes back. That's the idea. It's like perfume, all right? If you want to smell a fragrance, right? You don't want to go like that, right? No, you just want to kind of go just to get the essence of the fragrance, right? So that's what you should be doing when you're playing these types of notes. You should be just shaping them, finding the contours. Okay? Don't rush anything.
All right.
So let's try this. We'll start from here. Yeah, a little bit. So if you think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? Try it again. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Twice as slow. 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, you need to start this louder so we can really get this diminuendo.
Okay.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Ya da 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 da. Okay, so this is where this flowering, this kind of the essence of the fragrance begins, right? So you want to think about cultivating your sound so it doesn't get too heavy yet.
Okay.
Ya da 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 da. You're just choosing the way you want to play every note.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a 6, and a 1. Okay, to me it gets a little loud already. So think about a warm sound, but try to think about unveiling something a little bit. Don't reveal everything to us yet, okay? 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a 6, and a 1. 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a 6, and a 1. 2, 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a 6, and a 1. 2, and a 3, and a 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and a 5, 6. Getting a little bit louder. Not a little too much. 5. Da 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 da. 5 and a 6. And 1 and 2, 3.
I want to see it sit down, sorry.
So you have time to move your pedals. You just need to move them very, very distinctly, like which beats, right? So here, AC. Ya da 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 da. Okay? Do you know what your pedals are for here?
No, but I can start from here.
Okay, so let's start from there. And so there should be a gradual crescendo. See, it's written here. You can barely see it.
Got it.
It crescendos here. It's crescendoing, and then it starts dipping back down again, then it crescendos. You can hear it in the music, what it wants to do, okay? So start soft. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5, 6. 1, 2, 3 and a 4 and a 5. F D. 1, 2. C pedal. 5, 6. G B. 2, 3 and a 4 and don't speed up. And 1, 2, 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6 and a 8. Don't speed up. Ba da 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 da. 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Okay, let's try to do this twice as slow once.
Okay.
Ya da 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 da. G natural. Okay, I want you to play it very slowly, and press into the strings 1 finger at a time. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6 and a 1. Okay, good news. It's actually not much faster than that. Okay? What I would like to see is your fingers closing more individually. Okay, you have time to actually feel them spring into your hand.
Okay.
Can you do that? Do this little line, and I want you to feel the sensation. I want you to feel them just bounce into your hand, bounce off the inside of your hand a little bit. Okay? What happens? You know how your teacher tells you should have a nice space, right? Between your thumb and second. What do you think happens? What happened?
Oh, the space closed up.
Yeah.
So the fingers are
How do I not, I want that space. What do I do?
higher thumb.
Oh, that's it? Wow, you're a great teacher. When your fingers go back on, you're putting them up here. Okay? So I would just really be paying attention. In music like this, our technique is super important, okay? The facility is a very important thing because you have a lot of notes to fit in small places. So you have to make sure that everything is working here. We don't want to close off spaces. And when we go back on, we don't want to go like that, right? We want to keep a space. And what's going on there is it's directional placing, right? Okay, try the passage again. For passage work that has lots of notes in is a really good thing to do. Okay. So I think some of that work will really help throughout this, okay? So now the next passage is very similar. I think maybe we'll look at the cadenza a little bit. The cadenza was very nice. So let's go ahead and start that. A little heavier in the bass, a little stronger. So, yum, ba 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 bum, bum, bum. Okay?
Okay.
One, and 4. And F sharp to start. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 5, 1 and 2, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Very nice diminuendo. Let's look at the bass line here. Can you play your left hand here? So C natural, D natural. Feet are on D and A. Yes, that's good. Okay. What notes are moving only?
Oh my goodness. It's just a top note.
Yeah. So we have that B note. We have the B pedal that we call it, and it just keeps going that whole measure. It's just your thumb is moving around. Yes. Okay. There we go. The chords sounded great in the right hand, though.
Thank you.
Okay, let's try that with the right hand. Right, we can go on that measure. Right here where we were.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So find the B in your fourth finger. There it is. Okay. And you can roll these a little bit, like you were rolling before. Brum, brum.
The change.
I know. Just try it nice and slow. So C natural to start. Let's completely finish one before the next. So I want your fingers to close and open in between. Back to the E chord. Oh, so it's fa, mi, re, mi. Yeah. Fa, mi, and re. Careful the left hand. Yep. Fa and mi and re and mi. Do, la, ya, da, 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 da. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one, dum ba da 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 yum ya da dum dum da 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 da. Yeah, they're 30-second notes, even though there's looks like a space here. Okay. They're all 30-second notes except for the final note is a 16th. Okay. There you want to hold back, right? So 1, 2, and 3, and a 4, and 5, and 5, 6, and 3, and 4, and a 5. And you can roll that nicely. And softly though. Yes. And now very strong. Ya da 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 da. Relaxing. Right there, you almost had it. Go from the last two triplets. Ya da 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 da. The last two triplets. Do the last three triplets. You're not. You should be on G's. So if you just ignore the 30 seconds for right now, look at just the triplets. Yeah, because you had the first part of the triplet in your third finger. I recognize these fingerings. They look like mine. So somehow, I'm just wondering, can I see the harp for a second? Because I just want to see, that's probably what's throwing them off, because we're splitting up one of the triplets. So after you have with our thumbs, okay? Ooh. That's it. Yeah. That was it. That was it. You're just rushing the triplets a little bit now, okay? Yada da 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 da. Now flat thumb there, because we're getting softer, so we got to get rid of some of the ringing of the instrument. Ooh, D natural. Good work, though, Maria. This is not easy. This is not easy. I have a feeling you learned a lot of it on your own.
Well, Miss Marianne's almost weekly. Well, actually, yeah, toward the end of the years we didn't have lesson that much, but she still gave me a lot of help.
Right.
It was a lot of fun learning it.
Yeah, but I know how music like this goes, because you have to spend a lot of time on your own figuring things out when there's this many notes in one measure, right? It's probably the first time you've done anything like this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the first movement was pretty different. I mean, it was still a lot more notes than I did last year, but the second movement is definitely different. And also I worked on the third movement. It's not quite ready, but I'm really hoping to be able to play it for Harp Days.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
Beautiful. Okay, now we have Maya, who's coming to play two wonderful romantic pieces. One is the Sleeping Beauty cadenza from the ballet by Tchaikovsky, and the other will be the Grand Haiden fantasy. So a little bit of classical, but more romantic, just the same. And so you probably haven't been working on this too long, have you?
Yeah, I think like 3 weeks. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're going to play it, because this is it's one that doesn't get played as often, and it's not written as comfortably as some of the other Tchaikovsky harp cadenzas. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through it. Set your pedals. Oh, make sure that you're the right height first of all. Got this beautiful harp provided by Helen Gerhold. Okay, is that good? Okay. That wasn't easy just sitting down and playing that, was it? Yeah. So welcome to the world of harp playing in the orchestra world. It's very similar feeling. A lot of times we will sit there for 10, 15 minutes and you have to keep your hands warm. You got to, be ready to go. You can't be like daydreaming too much. Yeah. And then you get to play something like this all by yourself. So it's what we do, and you're already incredibly advanced. I know you haven't been playing the harp that long, but you're already playing it so beautifully. I think what helps me with something like this is I really try to think of my sound and the shapes I'm making with the sound. So I want to think about activating all my fingers, not just the fourth to my thumb of my right. I want to think of how I'm creating that shape up and down, okay, over these little hills. Can you play the first one? Okay, all right, so there's the challenge already. So people don't understand what it feels like to play this on the harp, but on the piano, the action of the keys, you drop your finger onto a key, it's pretty much going to make a sound immediately, right? Mm-hmm. And they cross over all the time with their left hand. They don't have to think as much about their position as we do. And when we cross over with our left hand, we have to really think about not allowing this to drop and this to get into a position so we can articulate the notes at the top. So what I like to do is work on just coming up and stopping on that note and getting to the point where I shape it the way I want to hear it, the way I want to hear it go to that note. Can you try that? Just up to the D? Yeah, do it again. Good. Now what about down in here? A little more strength in your fingers there. Yeah, and you might want to ground yourself a little lower here at the beginning. Just let me hear the left hand. Good. It's a hard one to start because again, you've got 3 wire strings next to a gut string. So you also have to think about playing the thumb more. Got strong fingers. Okay, now play this one up here. Or sorry. Okay, now play both hands up to that D. Ooh, that sounds good. Now you got the start to something. Now play it going down the other direction. Yeah? Yeah-da-da-da-da-da-dum. Direct it. Good. This one, you always have to pay attention a little bit to this area because of the way we have to these wires. And on this particular cadenza, I keep my left hand quite low on the strings. It's just wait, because you need to ground yourself, and if you get up too high, you lose some stability. So stay lower on the left hand when you're down there. Now go up again to the D. Now go down. Okay, now let's do one to the F. Now go down. Now let's do the one going to the A. Okay, I think it'd be a little stronger at the bottom. Do it again. Now go down. Now we got another one. This one goes on and on. Yep, go down. Okay, now your right and left hands crawl back up again. Okay, now we got one more. Okay, good. And that one will take a little bit of time on because we want to really kind of signal to everyone that yes, this is the last B flat 7 chord for now. Okay, so try that last one coming down. And a little bit more brilliantly from the top. Yes, there you go. Good. So the cadenza part was fine. Let's talk about these. I don't have a pencil. Oh, I actually need a pencil. not my iPad pencil. It's okay. Somebody will write this in for you. You're going to want to kind of shape these. So you want to think about hairpins through each of those measures so that you make something interesting happen. Because again, all these seven chords happens over and over and over again. Here comes a pencil. Thank you. By this lovely lady. So you want that, okay? So, and you want to keep both hands low. Okay, so go ahead and set up for this. It's a good finger strengthener because you're playing in an area on the harp. It's a little bit awkward, right, for both hands. So you really want to try to get as much sound as you can there. Let me see the harp a second. So to strengthen, so I want to know how loud I can go at the speed that I'm going to go at, right? And then that'll be, then you don't want to press it beyond that. So, you know, that's probably about my max. And I probably don't want to push it any more than that. So you want to start. Find what you're capable of doing. And you can always work on the strength, okay? As you get stronger. So try this one. Nice and low. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Ya da 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 da. That's what you want to do there, okay? So you played these chords fantastic. That's one of my favorite things. I mean, this is what is great about this particular cadenza. I mean, of course, the Nutcracker's great, and they have the beautiful waltz, and Swan Lake is gorgeous, and you get to play this beautiful duet with the violin. But this one, you play those chords, and the whole orchestra comes in. It's like, oh, it gives me goosebumps to think about it. And just to be surrounded by that, and that the fact that you are inspiring everybody else to come in the way you play those chords at the end. Can you play those one more time? Now play this first thing right here. Can you play that?
I don't like that.
Just play the downbeat. Look at the downbeat. Yeah. So it'll be this big E flat major. Pum 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 pum. I would practice some of that.
Okay.
It's good because we have to understand, in order to play the cadenza, if we don't know what we're giving an introduction to, then we're not really giving ourselves full inspiration. You know, so it gives you an idea of like, oh, I'm really going to command something here. And that will affect the way you play this much more virtuosic, you know, in my head, I think. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to switch gears to some Grandini Fantasy, based on a theme by Hainen. Can I just put this around over here?
I'm probably going to do it memorized.
Okay. Well, I'll just slide it here, okay?
Okay.
an accomplishment. That's great. And this is probably your first time playing in front of an audience, this piece.
Yeah.
That's something to be very proud of, Maya. I mean, you are playing at such a high level. And I tell you, all three of you today, I mean, we've got some tremendous talent here, young harpists in our community. We're just so happy to hear all of you today. And I mean, it's very touching, you know? And I'm just tremendously impressed. I've had college-age students that don't play it this well. And she's really, I mean, not only playing it well, but playing it with the right character and the right tempi. And just, you've got everything going on. Yeah, I mean, I think even your character and the theme was quite accurate. It's like really the only time we have more of Haydn's classical feel. And you had a nice wrist movement in that theme, and to keep it very, you know, pert. It should be, you know, very, very, you know, just very tasteful. Okay, so I thought that went really well, and I think your little, I always think of butterfly, the second variation. And I wanted to mention that I think the sound that you're playing in the pianissimo is perfect for this. So sometimes I think your pianos could be warmer. Okay, it was fine for this, but for example, you know, we have some things in some of the other places where it's only one P, and you just need to press into the strings a little bit more in those places so that we hear a difference between piano and pianissimo.
Yeah.
Okay, and that'll make your variation too even more special. Okay? So, and I think you certainly can play strongly. I mean, your fortes, fortissimos, I think could even be more dynamic if you just bring out the inner notes. So, for example, I like this glissando we can use as an example. So glissandos are our calling card on the harp, right? You know, so when you start that, I would love to hear you play re do si la sol fa mi re, like really press through your thumb before you get too soft. I see that you're doing a diminuendo, but I would wait towards the end,
Okay.
so that you don't lose the brilliance. So can you play the measure before it so we can hear a little bit more of the sheer brilliance at the beginning of the glissando? That was better. I heard more of every note. And that's what we want to strive for, okay? So then in some of these arpeggios, I would hear you go to the top thumb, but I wanted to hear the 2, 3, 4 before it more.
Okay.
All right? So when you start this progression, it starts a little soft, but think still about being very, very balanced with your fingers. Can we start from here? Start once more. So I think it threw you off because you start with a G sharp, right?
Yeah.
And so we have the G sharp down, and more. So I would save some of it. You have to save a little bit of it for that spot you just came to. Can you start again? Let's try the same place. And I think you can bring both thumbs out here a little bit, not just the left hand. so one other little thing. This will not be hard for you to fix, but in general, I find your left hand is a little too high on the harp. Okay? Because when you come, especially when you come down through something, and I'm usually telling people to get their hand up. So doesn't mean you play down here all the time. I just want you to think of the shape. Think of this shape here, right? So when you're here, your hands are pretty much on line. But as you come through here, see where the middle of the strings is? So as you come down through this feature, you want to also start bringing both your hands down. Okay. Can you start from this measure? You should feel a little bit more security lower on the strings as you come down into that. Okay? So that was just something, again, in general, it's not going to be difficult for you to fix, okay? I thought the whole beginning was wonderful. I just wanted to hear a little bit more sound in your piano dolce here. Can we start this once more? Impressive, Maya. I thought this was a little nicer, a little warmth. When you come here, those octaves will sound, I think, more distinctive if you play them flat. So I feel like you're just kind of doing this rather than flat, 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 flat. Really committing to each one. Can I see your left hand here? That's a big difference. We don't want to walk on eggshells there. Okay, you really want to come in flat for all of those. That's also going to help you later on with some of your cadences, your endings. Because in this kind of music, the harp rings a lot. And if we don't take care of some of the sound with a flat hand, then there's this other harmony, the dominant is ringing, and we want to hear the tonic at the end, so we want to make sure we get rid of that. Okay. So you just need to be a little more mindful of that hand. Okay? So, and I'll show you what I mean. At the very end of your theme, I always thought this is a challenging one. This one, and then, well, there's another. We'll look at this one first. You played everything so beautifully. Let's just do the very ending. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so if you were to come in just like this at the end, okay, you can take care of it. So as you play, you flat. There. See how that cleans up the harmony? We hear G major. There's no doubt. Okay, so there were a few places like that. This one too. So that one, you just want to, I think, bring out that G more. Okay, can we try the ending of this one? And I think I wanted to hear this anyway because I'd like to hear you start the beginning of this stronger. So do you want to start back here?
Yeah.
Okay. Oops, you just didn't move your D all the way down. That's okay. Okay. So what we need to hear is a little bit more distinction yada bump. And then we need to hear a little bit more of that G chord too as we come into it. So again, get louder. See, you got a crescendo, get lower on the strings as you come into that. How about starting at the very end? So, yeah. So start from here. That'll give you a good reference point. So F natural, G sharp, puts on the D, and puts on the G. Okay, so do you see how high your left hand is? Get it down there. Okay. Do you see how I have you starting in the middle of the measure?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
It's because that's where this phrase starts.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it makes musically sense to start there rather than start on the beginning of the measure. Okay, so I know I'm making you do something that you're not comfortable with. Okay, now play this here. Yeah. Can I hear more distinction in 2-1-4? A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, and the left hand can be even lower here. Okay. Anytime we have a lot of moving notes and we get into this register, everything has to come down low. Okay? So now, one more time, and I want you to start this stronger than you did before. Can you make sure that hand starts lower on the string too? Okay, and again, you don't want to be too high on the strings here at the end, because you still have quite a few moving notes. And you need to bring out the G. Yes. And see there's a flat sign there? That way you can get rid of whatever's ringing below. So let's just play that one more time. A little bit more sound here at the end. Yeah, so then now let's make sure all the triplets are even. Ya da 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 da. Okay, so we still need to hear to the end, so you can't do a big diminuendo. Ya da 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 da. And now can you clean up? G major. Okay, so now that you're hearing it, those things are little things. Because you're playing at such an advanced level. Yeah, we just need the finishing bits. So thank you. What a fantastic performance. So I think maybe I used up all the time. Did I use all the time up? So, hello, and I hope everybody who was listening online enjoyed hearing these fabulous young performers. I don't know, but maybe you all have some questions for our students that played today or for me. So Helen is here. Helen Gerhold's standing by, and she can see the chat room and all that, all those special features we've grown to get to know over the last year.
So there's 2 questions so far.
Oh, okay.
In what ways have you altered your playing style between playing solo versus playing in orchestra?
Oh, that's an interesting question. So how would I alter my style?
Your playing style.
My playing style between orchestral playing and solo playing. I think the biggest thing is that I'm playing with other people when I'm in the orchestra. So if I'm playing with other people in the orchestra, I need to, whatever that piece of music is in front of me, I need to make sure I understand how my part fits into theirs. So for example, if it were Sleeping Beauty, obviously that's a solo, and you get to play in a very soloistic manner. But then if you come into a section where you're accompanying a flute or a violin, let's just say, you obviously can't just be super aggressive and roll the chords any old which way, but you have to do it so it enhances what they're doing. So I think that's the biggest difference. I still, I think of projecting my sound in both solo playing and orchestral playing. No matter what the dynamic is, I want to think of a projection of sound so that those who are listening can hear every note. So.
Someone wants to know just a bit more about Lyra. We can talk about how you founded it and all that stuff.
Well, so many of you might know that we were supposed to have celebrated 15 years of the Lyra Society a year ago, and now we're at 16 years, which is amazing. Sweet 16. And really, I could not be, a day like today is really the ultimate reward. It was never a doubt in my mind that I wasn't doing the right thing, although it was a little bit of a concern that maybe I would fail, when I started this organization, because it took a while to build it up and to make it steadfast enough that I could have people like Elizabeth Steiner come in, and she took it to the next level. And then we had Helen Gerhold take it to the next level. So all of the people that have been brought into my life, I really have to thank, and I'm totally blessed by, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. And so I think, we love the instrument, we love the harp, and we all want to see young people who are talented have a chance to play it. And for me, it was never a question about wanting to make sure this was accessible for young people in our community. And so, I've always strived to be equitable, and I wanted to see people that didn't look like me playing the harp. And today I think there's so much emphasis put on this, and I think for the Lyra Society, that's always what we've been doing. We've always wanted to see people get a chance to play an instrument that seems somewhat rare and seems only accessible to those of means or privilege, and that's just not right. And thankfully, we already had a rich harp heritage in Philadelphia, and we had Ann Hobson Pilot, who went to Girls High, and along with several others. And these incredible women went on to receive their principal harp roles in major orchestras. Ann Hobson Pilot with the Boston Symphony. That's something you just can't ignore that. That's something to embrace, and to say that's my calling, is to make sure that I use my position with the Philadelphia Orchestra to go on and make sure that the harp is prevalent through our community. And I think that's basically the reason I started the Lyra Society. I was empowered by people like Ann Hobson Pilot, and I want to make sure that we continue this. I know we will. I think we're growing, and we're getting more and more people aware of what we're doing. And it's not just about the performing, it's about giving individuals life tools. This instrument isn't easy, right? It's a very complex instrument. It's even difficult to move. So it's got a lot of challenges to it. And I think that really transfers over into what we do later in life, whether we become a professional harpist or not. So anyway, I am very honored to have taught the three of you today and to see your incredible progress and each one of you being incredibly bright. And I look forward to much more in-person gatherings this year. And thank you very much for everyone.